So we have, unfortunately, you see my picture there. And if you, again, want more information and you want to drop down some of this stuff, we're going to send you some files after this is done so you can use these in your class. But basically, we're going to be using the communicator. That thing in my hand is a communicator. It's a plastic sleeve that you put templates into and have kids respond to. It's a great way to make smartboards interactive. So as we go through this today, I'll show you how the smartboard stuff works. I'll show you how to do it, and we'll really get started right now. All right, these are a little ambitious today, but we went over raising your hand. We went over the applause. We've gone through chat. We went through the breakout room communication. We haven't done these yet. We'll come back to those in a minute. But the big thing about multiplication is you want kids to know multiplication as arrays. You want the kids to know multiplication as groups of things. You want kids to do repeated addition. So I'm going to go into those concepts and how we create those. And then we're going to do some things with some creating a multiplication table. I don't give the kids a multiplication table. I have them create it. We have them review things called the multiplication book, which I'll share with you. We have them create flashcards rather than them actually getting commercial models. We have them practice problems that show us whether they understand arrays or not. We have them practice problems with groups. All that's done with SMART. I'll show you those in a little bit. And then we talk about the 15 tough facts that they have to learn, and we identify those. We're going to play a game. And if we have time, we're going to go on to more than facts. We're going to multiples of 10. We'll go to single digit times double digit, and we'll even go to double digit times double digit if we have time. So that's pretty ambitious for an hour and a half, but let's get started so we can see how far we can get today. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is introduce arrays to kids. And if you haven't had a chance to read this book to the kids, get the book. I can't copy the cover of the book or any pages of the book because of copyright issues, but I can tell you that this is a great book, and it's called 100 Hungry Ants. Raise your hand if you've used 100 Hungry Ants in your class, just so I know if people, there we go. Anybody, let's see, we have 2 people, Mary Ellen and Christina have used it. All right, and let's see, Kathy's used it. This is great. Okay, put your hands down. You guys who already know the story, Kathy, put your hands, there we go. And basically, it's a story about 100 ants that go to a picnic, and they're all in this long line. And the 100th ant says, by the time we get there, there won't be any food. So we're going to break into 2 lines of 50. And the 2 ants that are 50th say, by the time we get there, there won't be any food. Let's break into 4 lines of 25. They finally get down to 10 lines of 10. So here you have a whole bunch of ants that we are showing there. Because again, I can't use the pictures from the book. So get the idea of the ants going to the picnic. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to read the story to the kids. And when we get done, we are actually going to simulate the story using only 12 ants. So I made this little SMART model here by using the feature that we have where we can go to the Gallery Essentials, and I just put in ants. I typed in ants for a search, and when I put in the ants for a search, all you do at the bottom here, how did I get there? I clicked the gallery icon on the right-hand side. You can't see it on the screen. That's the gallery icon right there. I clicked that, and these came up. And I type on the bottom, ant. And when I do that, it comes up with pictures. And there are the ants that I did. And all I did was just click that and slide it on. And that's all you have to do. So those little ants I made before, that's all I did. Okay. So let's go back to our screen. Let me get rid of those. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So now we have 12 ants going to the picnic. And the 12th ant says by the time I get there, it's not going to do me much good, so I have to move stuff around. So we're going to make 2 rows or 2 columns of 6. So now we can talk to kids by moving these around. Now, in a minute, I'm going to show you how you can use the communicator to do this with the kids. What's cool about this is you can separate them so the kids can see these in distinct rows, and they can see 2 columns. They also can see rows. So we say to the kids, you have right here, you guys are dealing with row 1. This is row 1. and then row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, and row 6. So in a little bit, I'm going to have you guys moving stuff around, just like you would with the kids on the communicator. What you do is you give the kids communicators, and you either give them connecting cubes, or you give them like base 10 block kinds of things like I have shown right there. But before we do that, I just want to show you how you can move things around. So we're going to go back to another slide and just give you one more little idea on how to move around if you haven't used the smart stuff before. If you have, I apologize, but we've got to get everybody on the same wavelength. So I'm going to just pull up another PowerPoint real fast, okay? And we're going to pull up a PowerPoint. Here we go, and just give me a minute. All right, here we go. The PowerPoint goes back on, and we're going to just pull down another slide for a minute here. Just hold on a minute. And we're going to go right there. Okay. And you'll see this come on the screen. Okay. In order to use the Smart Notebook tools, which we'll show you when you get a chance to practice in a minute, they are located at the bottom of the screen. When I put Smart back on, you'll be able to see them. But the icons that you want, since we're going to be working with shapes, is basically the shape icon. If you wanted to make a shape icon on the toolbar at the bottom, what you do is you highlight the shape icon that I have in gray there by just pressing your mouse on top of it and clicking. The minute you click, the shape menu appears. If you wanted to make any shape that you want, we're going to make a square. You take your cursor and move it on top, and you left click it. The minute you left click it, you'll get this funny looking symbol that came on the screen. And in order to make the shape, you left click it and hold it down, and you move it around. And you can resize it by just moving it around. We'll practice that in a minute. And then finally, if you want to anchor the shape, all you have to do is go to the Select tool on your bar. It's right there. And basically, when you go to the Select tool, you just go there and click it. The minute you click it, the icon disappears and you have anchored the shape. If you want to resize the shape, again to review that, or to move it, you take your cursor and place it on the outline of the shape. You left click it, and it instantly changes it to an arrow. I mean to the hair and the intersecting lines there, and you see these three things on your screen and the dotted lines around it. That means that that object is going to be ready to be moved or rotated. The sign there means rotation. If you wanted to click that and rotate it, you could rotate. If you wanted to resize, you click the gray button, the gray circle. And if you want to have a pull-down menu of things you can do, you pull it down. So, to position the crosshairs on the rotation, you just slide it up with your mouse, and you click it, and it turns to two curves, two arrows that are curved, and you can now move it and rotate it. If you wanted to go and resize it, you click the button on the bottom, and it turns to a diagonal line, and you can resize it. And if you want to have the pull-down menu, you go up there and click it, and the cursor appears. So let's see what that would be like. If you now want to just see the pull-down menu real fast, we're going to see the pull-down menu. I'm going to click that with my left cursor, and all these indicators come on the line, on the action words come on the screen. We're worried about clone, cut, copy, and paste, and maybe the infinite cloner. If I highlight, the clone figure with my mouse, and then press the left cursor key, I can instantly clone a figure, and it's exactly the same figure that I had before. You might want to infinitely clone. That doesn't mean anything right now, I'm sure, but you might want to infinitely clone, which means you would just click the infinite cloner, click it, and you can just click it and you'll make other shapes. But we'll get to that in a little bit. I know I went through that fast, but you're going to get a chance to practice. So I'm going to get out of this now, and we're going to go back to our smart board. We're going to just practice these for a second. And we're going to go to our smart board here. All right, in a minute you'll see the smart board come back on the screen. There we go. Okay, you should see a smart board with the tiles that we saw before on your board. Now let's just review. Across the bottom of the screen is your Math Notebook toolbar. You see that icon I talked about with the shapes. You see the Select tool, which is highlighted, which means I'm on Select, which I move my cursor around. If I want to move this, how am I going to move this? I'm going to place it on the shape. Notice the cursor changed from a white arrow to my crosshairs. I left-click that and hold it down, and I can move that anywhere I want. So I'm going to move it right up there. I bring my cursor. Notice I let go of my left cursor key. I bring it down, put my cursor on top, and it changes to those crosshairs. Left click, hold it down, drag it where I want it. Left click off, bring it back down. Left click, bring it back up. Now I'm going to let somebody try this. Okay, do we have a volunteer who would like to try to just move one around so we can see those 2 rows? We're creating 2 rows of 6, by the way. Do we have a volunteer who would like to do that? All right, Francis or Fran, is it? All right, turn your mic on, Fran. Okay. Is your Francis or Fran?
Francis, same thing. Either way.
Fran, what I want you to do is move that bottom one up to the next one up the top. I'll have to give you permission. Hold on. All right. There we go. Fran's got permission to do it. Notice that change the hairline, crosshairs, and she brings that right up. Let's go. I have the left click, and all right. We'll give her a round of applause, everybody. All right, Steve gave her a round of applause. There we go. Okay. So Marielle, I want you, Marielle, now is going to try it. Marielle, I want you to move the bottom one up now. Okay. I got to give you permission, Marielle. I got to remember to do that. All right. And now you have permission to do that. Go ahead. Notice how the hairline changes. She moves it up. Excellent job. Give her a round of applause. Now I'm going to call on somebody who maybe hasn't done these before, and I'm just going to pick somebody at random. Or we'll help you out, so don't get nervous. All right. Let's choose Nancy. All right. Nancy, I'm going to give you permission to use the shared application. Now we're going to help you out, Nancy, don't get nervous. What I want you to do is put your mouse on top of this bottom yellow one. Just move your mouse on top of that. Nancy, can you hear me? Raise your hand. Nancy, are you there? Nancy, can you hear me? Nancy's not responding. Okay, let's go let's see, I can't tell what's going on. Okay, we're going to choose somebody else. How about Sue S? We're going to talk to Sue S. Let me take that away from Nancy. All right. Sue S, we're going to give you permission. All right. And now you have permission. Now, Sue, can you hear me? Raise your hand. Sue S. All right, Sue S has raised her hand. Good. I want you to move your cursor down to the bottom one. There you go. And then move it up. Now hold it down. There you go. And move it right below. Excellent job. Excellent job. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take that away from her. And I'm going to show you one other trick. What you can do is you can move these. And now I am going to, we have our lines again. This time we're going to make 4 rows of 3. Now if you notice what I did a couple of minutes ago, I took my cursor and I'm going to highlight 4 of them at one time. So I take my little cursor and I move it right where I left click it, and notice the line that is formed, and I bring it down and notice that 4 of them are highlighted at one time. Let me do that again. I can do it on the left, and I can just slide them over 4 at a time. And then notice how when I put my cursor on there, I get the hairlines, and I can move all 4 at one time. So again, how did I do that? I can put this anywhere I want, where I'm going to enclose them all. And now I have them all enclosed. I take the left click off. I get my hairlines, I left click it, and then I can move it anywhere I want. So let's just move those back, and we'll just practice that for a second. Okay, do we have a different volunteer this time other than the people that have just volunteered before? All right, let me see who was volunteered here. All right, Kathy 1. Okay, Kathy 1, I'm going to give you permission to take over, and I want you to take the bottom 4 and move them up to the right of the top 4. Okay? She has permission to do that. Let's see if she can do all 4 at one time. She's going to go to the Select tool. Kathy 1, are you going to join us? Uh-oh, Kathy 1 is not going to join us. Kathy 1, let's see. Oh, did I give you permission? There we go. Go ahead. Try it out. There we go. Notice how there you go. Excellent job. Now you're going to, there you go. Notice the group. Go back. Get off of that. Get out of that. Just click. All right. Try it again. There you go. Just let, there you go. Hold it. Whoop. Put the crosshairs back. Whoop. Okay. Just, there you go. Try your 4 again. Right now, put your crosshair, let go of it. Put your crosshair on when you get the crosshair, hold the left. There you go. Bring them down so they're right next to the other 4, roughly speaking. That's fine. Okay, give her a round of applause. That's one of the tough ones. There you go. All right. What I want you to do now is we have some more people who are going to volunteer. All right, Christina's 6. What I'd like you to do is we're going to take the away from Kathy, and Christina's 6. I'm going to give you permission to control, and I want you to highlight the bottom 4 there and put them in the rows for us. If you would move it. You're going to highlight the bottom 4. There you go. You have to check that guy in there, in the room in there, on the left. All right. All right, let go of that. All right, go down to the bottom 4. Just click off. There you go. All right, highlight those 4. 1, 2, there you go. Whoops, there you go. Let it go. Now get the crosshairs. Nope, there you go. Hold it down. Oh, no, no, no. There you go. Crosshairs. Hold it down and move it over. Excellent. Move it to the right, and then move it up. Move it a little more to the right. Move it up. There you go. Just hold it down. Move it up. Excellent job. Give you guys a round of applause. All right. So now what I'm going to do is just take that away from you, and I'm just going to straighten these out a little. You guys are doing a great job, and you're just learning how to move these around. Now, what are the kids doing? Now, the kids are doing this on their communicator. But then you can say, I want you to show me row 1. I want you to show me row 2. I want you to show me row 3. I want you to show me row 4. So you can do the rows. You could label them like I did before. You could type them in. And I can label them to be row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. Obviously, going up and down are columns. Okay, so once we have this under control, and again, how did I do this? To make that sheet, what I did is I went over to let me do a blank sheet here. What I did is I went over, and this time I have my ants. I didn't have ants. Whoops. I typed in on the bottom, I typed in blanket, and it came up with pictures, and I searched until I found a blanket. I dragged that over. Notice how I changed the size, and then I think I even had a basket. A couple of minutes ago, I think I had a basket on it. There's some baskets up here at the top. There you go. All I did with that is I now have my picnic, and now I had little shapes. So what do I have to do? I have to go down here to my shape, like we did before. We click that. We go to square, and I made my little square. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color that. I'm going to go to my select tool at the bottom, notebook toolbar, go up here. I'm going to click it, left click, and I'm going to go down to properties, and I'm going to make it yellow. Now I have my little square. I want 12 of them. Click. You go to your pull-down menu and go clone. And then I can go clone. Now you'll notice next to clone it says Control D. So once I do that, I can take my keyboard and I just go Control D, and I can make as many as I want. And I can line them up. And that's how I made my slide a couple of minutes ago that we were messing around with. I don't know whether there's 12 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On it one more time. And we have 12. So let me review how I did that. I went to my my Gallery Essentials. I typed in blanket. I looked for blanket. I slid that over, took the basket, slid it on top of it. Then what did I do? I went to my shape, and I took the shape. I took the square, and then what I did is I colored it, and I cloned them. Okay, good way. Now remember what the kids are doing here. The kids are using this on their communicator. So you give them 12 connecting cubes, or you give them 12 little individual unit blocks from base 10 blocks, and you have them write the word picnic at the top of their communicator, and then you tell them make a 2x6 or make a 3x5 or make a not 3x5, 2x6 or a 6x2, 6 rows of 2 or whatever, so you can see if they really know the difference between rows and columns. So they're participating while you're showing and you are validating those things on the board. Now, you want to make a multiplication table. And let me show you how we make a multiplication table. What we do is I give out to pairs of students. I'm going to create the 6 times table. We distribute 60 cubes to the kids in each pair and have them make 10 sets of 6. So they just put those together. And they make 10 sets of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How did I do that? How did I create that little block right there? You see that little infinite sign there? That means it's an infinite cloner. And all I have to do is take my cursor, put it on top, the crosshairs come on, and I just drag down a new shape. I don't have to do anything else. Let me get rid of those. Go to my drop-down menu, go to delete, and they're deleted. So how did I make the little fancy thing? I went to shape, I went to square, and I made a square. Then I made another square on top of it. I think I made a rectangle on top of that. Just a little itty bitty one like that. And now what I did is I went to my select tool at the bottom. I grouped those together by, notice I went to my drop down menu and this thing here called group. I group them, and now I can move both of them around at one time. I go to my properties, and I go to fill effects and make it yellow. Now notice this is bigger than the one I have there. How am I going to do that? I click on it. There's my resizer tool, and I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller, and I can make it exactly the same size as I have my others. If I want, go to my drop-down menu, and I can infinitely clone it. If I do that, that means I can just drag off as many as I want. To get rid of infinite clone, you just go to infinite clone and click it off. Okay, so anyway, we now know how I made the chart. By the way, we taped these. Whoops, I cloned it instead of got rid of it. We taped these so you can see them again. And I want to just get rid of these, so I'm going to delete. All right, so the kid has made 12 of these. So what you do is we have different templates that we're going to be sending you guys. I'm going to do a split screen right there on that toolbar at the bottom. You see me go into the split screen. I hit that, and 2 screens come on at one time. And we do that because one kid is going to have the screen. I just have to move the screen back a minute. And I want to move it up here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this now, and we're going to have it look like this. All right. One kid has a template that is a blank multiplication table. Notice you'll get these to use. That blank multiplication table has a 1 to 10 and a 1 to 10. And the other kid is the same thing, but the other kid has all of those sets of 6 that they did. So you start talking to kids about what a set of 6 is. It's so much better to have them make their own times table. You tell the kids that the times table that's there is really a way to store rows on the left and columns on the top. Whoop, I spelled columns. Columns on the top. What I mean by that is this. You tell the kids you're going to deal with one set of 6. So I'm going to highlight one set of 6, and then one kid just drags it down on their communicator and puts one row of 6. Because you have one row, remember these are rows, and you have columns. One row of 6, you have one row and 6 columns. So he puts the cubes right on top, and the other kid takes a pen and they record what one row of 6 is, and it's a total of 6 cubes. So 1 times 6 is 6. One row of 6 is 6. Then what happens is you tell the kids, now let's add another row of 6. So they highlight that, or I mean they're going to bring it down on their communicator. You can highlight it to show them how to do it. And then you can say to the other kid, now you have 2 rows of 6. 2 rows of 6 is 12. And then you go and the kids will do 3 rows of 6. So they drag down another set of 6. I have 3 sets of 6. I have 3 rows of 6. I have 3 rows of 6 in each one. What is 3 rows of 6? Well, there's my 3 rows. There's my 6 columns. And my answer is going to be 18 when I count them up. I'm not going to do the whole thing. But one kid, tell them to add another set of 6. You now have what? 4 rows of 6. And the kid can record that on the communicator or on a permanent copy if you want, and call it 24. I'm not going to do the whole thing because obviously you get the gist of what I'm doing. But I want to show you one more thing real fast. I am going to delete these, and I'm going to move these off of here just for a second. All right, notice how I did them all at once. All right, now, what I want you to do now is suppose that I wanted to talk about a model instead of 1 times 6 and 2 times 6, like we just did. Suppose I want to change it and I want them to do 6 times 1, or 6 times 2, or 6 times 3. That means I want 6 rows of 1 column and 6 rows of 2 columns. So how am I going to do that this time? You tell the kids to take a stick, but you want to notice I'm going to go to rotate. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to put it down right there. Now, if I did it that way, I'd have 6 rows. Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, and 1 column. So the kid over here would write down 6 rows of 1 column and write down 6. I'm not going to do one more. 6 rows of 2. Bring down another set of 6. Rotate it if you need to. And bring it over. And now I have 6 rows of 2. And of course, this is 6 rows, 2 columns. 6 of 2 is 12. And then you can keep acting that out. So that's how we make multiplication tables. And we actually, when we get done with both rows and columns, the kids have what we call a partial multiplication table. They have it filled out this way, and they fill it out the other way, and that is your what we call the partial multiplication table, because not the whole thing isn't all filled out, for 6s. All right, and it would look like that. I changed colors on you, but that's okay. 24, 30, 42, 48, 54, and 60. Okay, so now let's go on. The other way we want to talk about multiplication is with groups of things. I'm going to go back to a full screen. Notice I go down to my toolbar down here, and that was a half screen right there. I just click on that, and it becomes the whole screen. Now, this is a template that you might want to use, and basically it is 10 circles. And this is what we use to do groups of things. So, if I want to show 4 times 3, I want 4 circles or 4 groups of 3. The circles are the groups I call dots, the individual items. So 4 groups of 3. One way to do that is to take your icon and you go 1, 2, 3. That's one group of 3 in that whole thing. I want 4 of them. So I'm going to highlight those, and I'm going to clone them, and I'm going to move them. All right. So I want somebody, can somebody volunteer, or would somebody like to volunteer and move another group of 3 into this circle right there? Do I see a hand over here? All right, Sue. All right, Needham, is that how you say it? Needham 55. That's a new person, I believe. I'm going to give you permission to do this. All right, and we're going to, I thought I was going to give you permission to do this. Where'd you go? Oh, there we go. And I'm going to give you permission to do this. All right, go ahead. I want you to highlight those. Get over. There you go. Clone them. There you go. Now she's going to go back with the crosshairs, and whoop, you lost it. So go back. All right, now you're only going to move one at a time because you lost the whole thing. So what you want to do is just move the 3 in. That's fine for right now. Just go to each one and move them down. There you go. Notice that, there you go. They're crosshairs. Notice how she's getting the, there you go. 2. And one more is 3. Now we have 3 groups of 3, which is 9. All right, give her a round of applause. Give her a round of applause, you guys. Oh, there you go. All right, now what I want you to do is think about what's going on, okay? What I want you to think about is, let me just review this for a second. If you go ahead and you want to click all of them, I have to go outside my model, click all of them, and then I want to clone them. I clone it, go to my crosshairs, and move them over. Okay, I think we have a question. Let me cut those out. All right, who has a question? Let's see. Kathy 7, turn on your mic and ask your question. I'm going to turn my mic off. No, Kathy does not have a question. Okay, she put her hand down. Okay. Oh, Kathy 1, do you want to volunteer? Raise your hand if you want to volunteer to the next one. Do I have another volunteer? Raise your hand if you want to try it out. There we go. Jeffrey. All right, Jeffrey is going to try it out. I'm going to give him permission. So he's got control. And he's going to copy one of them. And then he's going to clone it. See if he's done all 3 of them. All right, he's got one of them. Just drag that over. All right, now clone that one, Jeffrey. You can clone the one that's right there if you want. Go to the, there you go. Clone it. There you go. Drag it over. Excellent job. Clone it again. All right. Okay. And now we have, give him a round of applause. Okay. This is good. Okay. So now we have 4 groups of 3. So one more time, this one shows obviously 2 groups of 4. You guys can put your hands down for right now. The only thing I want to show you that's a little bit different is you can create a multiplication table using dots and circles by actually having kids do the following. What you want to do is, instead of using rows as this, you label this side to be circles and this one to be dots. So, if I were going to do the one we have right there, I have 4 circles, or I have 4 groups of 3. So what I want to do is go back to my sheet. 4 rows of 3 would be 12, so I can write 12 in there. But the reason I did that is because I had 4 circles, and I had 3 in each one. And now, obviously, I'm not using my little fancy stuff here at this point. Okay. One other thing I should show you. how did I make this table and have this showing up here? I can't show you that. We tried that before. Sorry, I can't show you that because it doesn't come on the screen. What you do is you click the camera, but you can't see it on the screen. It comes black on your screen, and I can't show it to you because you don't get the message. But you click the camera, you highlight the shape, and then that'll make that shape for you from any item that's on the screen. From any item that you might have in a PDF or from the internet. But anyway, we have now done arrays, and we've now done groups of things, and we want kids to have tons and tons and tons of practice. So this is really what this is all about. I'm going to bring up another file, and this file is the one that is on smartmathlessons.com that you can download, and let me show you how to use it. It's all done for you. I'll show you how some of it was made. This is much fancier, as you can see on your screen. It has 133 slides in it, but it's ready to use. If your kids know about arrays, if your kids know about groups of things, you're ready to use these. Notice you have your communicators, you have your blank multiplication sheet, you have your multiplication table, and you have your groups of things. If you were to click that, and I'm not going to, it's a video of me explaining what we're going to be doing, but you don't need that video because I just explained everything in the webinar today. I go through development purposes of the templates. It's me explaining what I just did with the arrays and things. It's just me explaining it all over again. This explains it, and this one lets you do it. So I'm not going to play this because it's a video, but if I click on this without the video, it goes to the page, nice fancy page, that has the same template on it had before. If you want kids to just shade this, you want to show them different things, you can say, I can highlight that and I can show them a 4x7. If you wanted to, you could go down here and instead of using this, you could use a rectangle. Let me go back to my selection tool at the bottom of my toolbar. Get rid of that by clicking on it and go delete. I'm going to now just highlight it instead of doing it in fill. I could do 4x7 by just putting the shape in the corner and going 4x7, and the kids could show me 4 times 7 equals 48. But now, what happens is that's just a model of showing how you could get arrays on the table. If you want to show how to get these filled, you could say I want to do 4 rows. I want to show 3 sets of 4. So I can just slide those over, and I have my one set of 4 like I had before. I could click on those, and I could clone them, and I can move them over. I could clone them and move them over, and I don't remember what I said, 3 rows of 4. There we go. Anyway, it's just what I did with you guys before. But now we want to practice. If you click on title, you go back to the title anytime you want. Now, that was the development and purpose one. If I want to practice, and this is what really makes it nice for you, I put all different kinds of practice problems in here. Practice problems with blank multiplication table. Practice problems with blank multiplication table. Here I give you the array, and the kid has to show me the fact and the product. Here I give you the fact, you have to show me the array. So let's just see what these look like. All you do is take your mouse and click on the blue, and the first problem comes on the screen. You see it on your screen. The kids write the answer on the communicator and hold it up. Now I know you guys know this, so I'm not trying to insult you, but what I want you to do is I want everybody in the chat to write down what that multiplication problem is, what the array is, and then the answer. All you have to do is type it in and send it to the moderator, so only I see the answer. Make sure that you type in the answer as the array, and then send it to the moderator. So go ahead, you can do that, so I can see your answers. All right, Yvette has answered already, and sent it to me. Sue has answered. All right, Jeff has answered to everybody. Kathy 1 has sent it to me. Sandra has sent it to me. Christina and Nina was sending to me. All right, Jennifer, you guys are doing great. All right, let's check this out. This one, and now what's cool about this is then what your kids are doing is your kids have this in communicators, and they're responding to you so you can see what's going on when they hold it up. And we can check out the answer by just going to answer, and then the answer is 4 by 8. There's 4 rows, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and there's 8 columns, so 4 times 8 is 32. Let's go to the next problem. We'll try it real fast. You guys put down the answer, send it to me in the chat. Put down the problem and the answer. Kids, remember, are writing these on their communicators. You're just sending them to me in the chat right now. All right. All right. Yvonne, it's Yvette, Christina, you guys are getting good. All right, Kristen, keep going, you guys. Sandra, this is great. I'm seeing you guys know your multiplication tables. This is great. Okay. What we can do is, and then when they all hold up their communicator on the count of 3, you can check out their answers, and then you can show them the answer right there. All right, you want to change the problem. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to choose practice problems with blank multiplication table. Given the fact, show the array and the product. So now I get a different set of problems. Now I'm going to have you read the directions. I'll read them to you. It says, show me an 8 by 9. All right, so I'm going to go right there, and you're going to show me an 8 by 9. So what I'd like somebody to do, I'll just do it first, then we'll have somebody do it for us. Notice I highlight my little shade thing, and I move it over to the corner. So again, how did I do that? I went to my infinite cloner, and I just dragged it out. Now I take my crosshairs, and I hold down the left key, and I move it up to the corner. Now I go to my resize tool, and I want an 8 by 9. So I just drag it down to 8, and I go all the way over to 9. And then the kids are doing that by just outlining it on their communicator so they can hold it up so you can see if they know it. But we're just going to practice this for a minute. So I'm gonna get rid of that. All right, we'll have somebody practice it. Okay, do we have a volunteer? All right, raise your hands. All right, Christina has volunteered. I'm going to give her permission to do that. All right, and we're going to give you control. Go ahead and show us 8 times 9, Christina. Just click it, bring it down, click it. Nope, nope, click it. Go back. No, go back on it. Just drag it down. Click it. Drag, left click. Drag. There you go. All right, now, there you go. Now move it. All right, up to the corner. There you go. All right. And now, there you go. Now you want to show me 8 times 9. Drag it down to the left. Move it over a little bit. All right, let's click it again. There you go. There you go. Move it over to the left. All right, we need 8 times. There you go. Excellent job. Give her a round of applause, everybody. All right, there you go. All right. So let's go on to the next person. Okay, let's go on to another problem. Oh, by the way, I have the next answer. I have the answer, but we're going to go to the next problem. Okay, this time we'd like somebody to be really brave, somebody who hasn't gone yet, and maybe is not familiar. This is the whole idea of doing this, is to get you guys familiar with how to use this. We'll help you out. All right, Nancy. We're going to call in Nancy. Okay. I'm going to give well, I got to take the other one away. Let's see. All right. Give control. All right, Nancy has control. All right. What I'm going to do, Nancy, is put you on a new screen. There you go. Show us 4 times 7, Nancy. She's going to drag it. There you go. Drag it up. All right, to the corner. Excellent job. Move it. And now you're going to show me what? What are we going to do? 4 times 7. All right. Go in the corner. There you go. See how that changes? See how she changed it? And she's just messing around with moving around. She's got to show me 4 rows of 7. Move it over to the left a little. You got the 4 rows, but you need to move it to the left a little. Get the 7. Move it down now. Okay. Go back already to the corner and start again. Just mess around with it a little. All right. Try it again. There you go. I think we have it. All right. One thing you're having a little trouble with, let me take it over for a minute, is this is when you get over here and you highlight it, you can move it all the way over. And then you can get the 4 down and then move it over while it's on the 4 to the 7. So let me do that again, then I'll let you practice it. All right, let's cut that out. Clone it. Move it up. Remember, I do this all day long, so I'm quick at it. Whoops. Not that quick at it, I guess. Notice, if I move to the left, I get to move it down to 4. I just find it easier to go over to 4 first and then over to 7. All right, so Nancy, give it a try again. I'm going to cut that out. There you go. Move it up. Remember, the kids are doing this under a communicator. There you go. To the left. Go to the, drag it to the left a little. All right, keep going. Go back to the resize. Whoop, go back to it. Resize. There you go. Push it all the way to the left, real hard. There you go. There you go. Now, there you go. Move it up to 4. You gotta go to your resize. There you go. Move it up. Whoop. Hold it down when you get to resize. There you go. There you go. All right, now you got to open. There you go. All right, and bring it down to 4 and over. This is good. Now just drag it. Whoops. There you go. Bring it down to 4 and 7. All right. Not as easy as it looks. Give her a round of applause, you guys. We're all going to be experts when we get done today. All right, this is good. All right, we're going to take privileges away. All right, so I want to go back to title. Now, remember we were doing dots and circles before? We're going to practice with dots and circles. Now, everybody type into their chat. The kids would just type down the multiplication problem that that shows on their communicator and hold it up so you can see if they know how to read that. Show me the number of groups, the number of items in each group, and the answer. And send it to me and the moderator. You're going to use the chat to do that. All right. All right, keep sending them. We have answers from people all over the place. This is great. This is great. Okay, let's see what we've got. All right. I'm going to show you the answer. 6 circles are filled in with 4 in each one. So the answer must be 6 groups of 4. Because remember, the groups come first or rows come first. So 6 groups of 4. Okay, let's try the next one. All you do is click on answer. All right, now the next problem, what I'd like you to do is, I think I just showed you the answer. All right, on that one, I want you to show me the answer again. Type it into the chat bar. And we'll see what the answer is. All right, this is good. You guys getting good at answering these. This is great. So let's check it out. And when kids, and remember, kids are holding them on the communicator. You guys then could show them the answer by clicking answer. And obviously it's 6 times 9 because 6 circles are filled in with 9 in each one. Let's go back to title. All right, now we go to given a fact, show the group problem. It's a little harder to do. I want to show 8 times. I'm going to go to an easier problem. I think we're going to go. I just want to go to a smaller problem. 5 times 9, that isn't much easier. All right, 7 times 4 will be okay. What we want to do is go to 7 times 4. So what we're going to do is, you guys put your hands down, if you would. We're going to 7 times 4. So what the kids would do is they could either, they're not going to slide the squares in, but what they can do is they can put little X's on top of theirs, and they can do it that way. So they put, or little dots, they can just take their pen, and because they can't slide stuff on there like you can just have them take their pen and mark them like this. And that would show me 7 sets of 4. So I could do it that way if I wanted. Okay? So again, we'll just have somebody practice who hasn't done this before. Anybody volunteer who someone hasn't gone yet? We'd love to have a volunteer. All right, Sandra, I think we'll choose you now. We'll give you moderator privileges. And I would like you to just clone that and put that in right there. I'm going to put you 4 right in the 5th circle. So take your cursor and put it on top of that little green thing and slide it over.
I can't get control.
I know. All right, hold on. Where are you?
Still here. I'm trying to click on the.
I know, but I can't see you. Oh, there you go. All right,
okay.
Got you.
Okay, let's see.
All right, go ahead. Now you've got it. Go ahead. Turn your mic off.
Okay.
There you go. You got it now. Sorry about that. There you go. Drag it over. And the 5th one. There you go. That's one of them. Go back and get another one. Let's go. Just bring it over. Just bring your mouse over to the left. Back over to the left so you can drag. No, you don't need to make it bigger. Go over to the left. Drag your mouse. Just let go of that and bring it all the way over. Nope. Just take your mouse. Put it back in. Crosshairs, put it back in, move it over. There you go. All right. Now go back to the one on the left, and you're going to clone. There you go. Now just drag that down. There you go. Now drag that over. Crosshairs. There you go. Move it over. Excellent. All right. Try it one more time. Go all the way over. Bring it back over. All right, crosshairs. Try it again. There you go. Hold your left mouse down. Move it over. Crosshairs again. You got to click it. There you go. Now move it. There you go. All right, now you got 3 of them. You only need 1 more. You want to click it. There you go. Move it. There you go. All right. Notice she made one a little bit bigger when she grabbed the end of it. That's okay, but we can just put that back if we wanted and make it back to small. Okay. So basically, give her a round of applause. You guys are doing good. You know, you are getting the idea of what's going on with moving the stuff around the screen. This is fantastic. Again, I can't emphasize enough. You want the kids using communicators while you're doing this on your screens. Okay, so these are all made for you. Let's go back to title. I want to show you something real quick. We talk about the 15 tough facts. You can put your hands down, please. Unless you have a question, leave them up and they'll get to you. You guys have a question? All right. Okay. Let's go to the 15 tough facts. This is an icon that you would see, a template you see that has all the multiplication facts in it. And basically, we tell kids you have to learn 100 facts, but there really aren't 100 facts you have to learn. What you really want to do is, everybody knows their 1 times table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross out all the 1s. So you have the kids actually do that with the communicator. You have them put lines through it rather than shade it. That leaves us with 81 facts left to learn. But I heard a rumor that everybody knows their 2 times table as well. So I am going to cross out my 2s. That leaves 64 facts. And again, the kids would do that with their communicator, and then you would verify it by showing up here. Continue. Now, notice I just clicked with continue. I'm going to go to cancel out all. It's going to tell me that I want to go to the 5 times table. It tells you right the directions right there, 5 times table. I'm going to just do the answer. All the 5s are out. Now I only have 49 facts left. Now what I want to do is continue with my problem. Now I have my answer. Now I want to get rid of my 10 times tables because everybody knows they're 10 times tables. So I'm going to just put my answer in, and that leaves all these facts. 36 facts left, folks, because you guys know your 1 times, 2 times, 5 times, and 10 times tables. Let's continue. And now I'm going to say the problems that have their same number multiplied times themselves, usually kids know that. 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 5 times 5, 6 times 6, blah, blah, blah. That leaves me with 30 facts that are not filled in. But those 30 facts really aren't 30 facts because of the turnaround rule. 4 times 3 is the same as 3 times 4. So we can just show them that you can get rid of all of the ones that are the turnaround rules, and that leaves you with 15 tough facts. Go back to title. If you want to practice the 15 tough facts, you can practice with either a 10 by 10 table. By the way, if you just click on that, you can, I don't think you can see this if I click on it though. Let me just see if you can see that. What happens if you click on that? No, you can't. You can't see it because Acrobat is not on your computer activated. So, but if you click that, it goes to PDF, and you can print them, and you can print those icons, those templates to use in the communicators. At any rate, we want to practice our 15 facts. These guys are only the 15 hard facts. Same problems we did before, but they're only the 15 hard facts. So I want to go to traditional drill sheets for just a minute to give you an idea of some other things you can do that I've done with SMART. What you have here is you could tell the kids just to multiply these out one at a time. You could just, I did my shade. Notice on the bottom I went to my shade on the notebook right there. A shade came on. Let me get rid of that. Go to your shade right there, your shade icon. Click it, and it shades the whole thing. I can pull it down, or I can pull it to the right or the left, and those are all my multiplication problems. I can have the kids answer those questions one at a time on a piece of paper by reading them to them, and I could also just have them write from 1 to 10, as I said, and answer them one by one. I could pull these over, and I could just, again, highlight those as I have there. And basically, when I want to check them, what I can do is I can say 6 times 7 is 42. I can just slide that over. Now, if you wanted to, you can have some kids come up and play this. You can give them a timer by just clicking on 1 minute and starting the timer. And now what I can do is 9 times 4, I can just 36 and drag that over to 36. I have the right answer. 3 times 8 is 24. I drag that down, I have 24. 6 times 9 is 54, I drag that over. 7 times 8 is 56, I drag that over, and so forth. If I get a wrong answer, it's going to tell me it's wrong. I can take it off, get rid of it. Oops, get rid of it. And now I can put in the right answer. 4 times 7 is 28. And there we go. And 9 times 7 is 27. See if I make the minute. And now I have 3 times 6 is 18. 8 times 9 is 72. And 9 times 7 is 63. I did them. All right. So again, all you need is to drag those. And again, you can go back, or you can try some more problems. Let me go back to my title. And 15 tough facts. Traditional sheets. What I want to be able to do, that was the timer going off, is I can go to my next sheet. Or I should go to my next problem. Sorry about that. And there are other things I've done here using SMART technology. You just get the kids to practice. This is cool. But this is a randomizer. I'll show you how I did this in a minute. I put all these multiplication facts in. If I press select, it'll click, and the kid, I call on a kid at random to tell me what 6 times 7 is. I select again. Tells me 6 times 8. Okay. So basically, what I can do is I can grab those and make my little model with my words in there. The question is, how did I do that? Well, the thing is you go to your Gallery Essentials, and I'm going to go to my lesson activity kit, and I'm going to go to my match. I believe it's a, let's see what I need here. I need to, keyword, randomizer. Alright. And I think I'm going to run out of time, what my problem is here. And I think it's going to be keyword match. No, it's not. Alright. Sorry about that. We're going to have to skip it because I'm running out of time. but we will show it to you. I'll send you an email on how to do that. But anyway, you can make your own materials like this, but there's no need to do that because you already have this file that you can drop down. Obviously, I did not get a chance to do a lot of the things that I had planned on. Those are your basic facts. But the thing is that we want you to think about practicing these facts. The kids really need to do the building of the models. Notice that when we do these things, we don't have kids just give us facts. We have them either use the arrays through the templates, or we have the groups of things through the templates, and then we can verify those on the screen. Basically, you can do many other things with the SMART materials. Just let me show you one real fast with some multiplication things here. I'm going to open up a new file just real quick. And I just want to show you something real fast here. If you want to do some double-digit multiplication, what you can do is, I'm just going to flip through these slides real quick. And there we go. And multiples of 10. When we teach 12 times 10, we usually tell the kids to add a 0 on the end, but we really don't want to do that. We want to think of this as 4 groups of 3 groups of 10. So the kids really get the idea of what's going on. So, or 12 groups of 10. But 4 groups of 3 groups of 10 is the way we teach it. So I'm going to just show you 3 groups of 10. So that's 1 group of 10, 3 groups of 10, and I want 4 of them. That's 3 groups of 10 right there, and I want 4 of them. So I'm going to clone that. Now I have 2 groups of 3 groups of 10. I clone that, and I have 3 groups of 3 groups of 10, and I clone it one more time, and now I have 4 groups of 3 groups of 10. That's my answer. We know from doing addition that we have 10 rods giving us 100. So when they get that all together, they can put all these together and get 10 rods, and they can see that the answer is 120. I like this better because it gives more understanding than it does if you just tell them to add a 0 on the end. Just a little quick overview there. So I'm going to bring this to a close by just giving you some closing comments here. And basically, I'm just going to bring up another PowerPoint, so give me a minute. And I want to go to a PowerPoint. So I'm just give me 1 second to move things around here. I'm going to stop sharing. All right, now we're going to bring up a PowerPoint. Okay, that's the old PowerPoint. I'll bring up a new one in a second. All right, I'm going to close out of that. And I'm going to bring up a new one. As I said, close. There we go. Okay, so we should have a new one on our screen. And basically, what I'd like you to think about are some resources that you can use and get off of smartmathlessons.com. So basically, what we have here is continued support, and you can download the webinar materials once this is over. In the next couple of days, you'll be getting a professional development certificate for an hour and a half. You also can download files and of these SMART materials that I have, and you can download PDFs of some of the things you can use with the communicators. So, if you have any questions, you can give us a call. As I said, my name is Paul Lawrence, and we'd be happy to ask the questions at LLTeach, www.LLteach.com, and our number is 908-575-8830. But if you go to www, our new website, smartmathlessons.com, you will get this screen. And basically, when you do that, you can download many different things. You can go to free samples, and you can download the samples that we just had, I think, on the screen. I didn't bring it up, but you can. If it says downloadables and it says free, you can move them down. These have prices on them, but they would just say free on it. These are simulated, so we can't really see it. You can also go to www.llteach.com, which is our other website. Our one website, as I said, is www.smartmathlessons.com. The other one is www.llteach.com. If you want to see some of the materials that you can purchase, you go to Publications, and you go to Catalog. You can send your name in, we'll send you catalog, or better yet, you can just download it instantly. That's our catalog on the screen there. And if you go to certain pages in the catalog, the very first pages, you can buy communicator kits, $124.95, 30 communicators, 30 pens, 30 erasers, and the big book of your choice. You also can buy student multiplication resource books that have all the pages I was talking about outlined. I'll show you those in a minute. And you have a 5th grade one and a 4th grade one. We also have one called Mastering Multiplication Booklets. In those booklets, we have pages and pages of practice problems that can be done on a communicator. This is the traditional drill sheet. Kids put that inside the communicator. They can practice it over and over again. And you can have mixed facts, or there's pages just with simple all the 7 times table, or all the 8 times table, or the 9 times table. So you have mixed sets, like this one is, or you can go to specific sets. Here, this is the one I much prefer. These are groups of things, and on this page right there, what the kids do is they write down what the answer is, and basically we can indicate that the kid would write down in this 10 times 6 equals 60. Here the kid would write down 2 times 3 equals 6. Here the kid would write down 7 groups of, 8? 7 groups of 8 is 56. So they can write those down. And again, they can do it on a communicator, so you can use it over and over again. And then you can answer those on the screen. Here you do it by arrays. Here the kid writes in the blank. The kid writes down the arrays of 10 times 8 would be 80. This one would be 9 times 6 would be 54. 2 rows of 8 would be 16. So the kid writes down the problem and the model. So if you liked our seminar today, our webinar today, what I'd like you to do is remember to go to smartmathlessons.com once again. We've already done the one you just did today is February 22nd. The next one we're doing is next Tuesday. We're doing one on March 1st, next Tuesday, for games and differentiation. You'll get to play different games. On March 15th, we're doing one for grades 6 to 9 for differentiation. And on March 22nd, we're doing one for fractions. So basically, what we'd like you to do is send us comments on ways we can improve the webinar. The thing is that you really want to. The thing is that you want kids to be able. I lost my train of thought here. We want to be able to have as much interaction as possible when we do a webinar. So you guys, again, as someone who started, this is really. To me, it's all new stuff, and we're trying to master it, and we're trying to make things move along. We get better at it sometimes. Sometimes we have a glitch, you know. I made a lot more stuff than I could cover. We could really do a section 2 of this with double-digit multiplication, single-digit multiplication. I had many other things I was going to have you do in breakout rooms. We never got to the breakout rooms, but we did have a lot of practice with SMART. But I want you to reflect on this, and I want you to think about how much interaction you had. Do we need to add more interaction? Do we need to have less interaction? Again, we're just feeling our way. That's why we don't charge for these, because we want to make sure that we get this right before we start charging. So if you would send us a comment right now, we'd appreciate it. And in the next couple of days, you will be getting the materials and your certificate. So give yourselves all a round of applause. All right, good job, you guys. Hope you enjoyed doing it as much as I presented it, as much as I enjoyed presenting it. At my age, it's hard to